it's Editing Roxy here. I live in a flight path and it seemed like everyone and their mother decided to take a flight today. There are many airplanes in the video and I apologize in advance for the really awful sound. Hello everybody, welcome back to Roxyland. I hope you are all doing incredibly well and are having a good week. If you're like me, you might have a certain number of attractions that you just know you have to avoid. Even if it is one of your favorite attractions, you know that you're not going to feel too hot after you get off of it. Motion sickness is something that plagues theme park attendees all around the world, and I feel like it's been a recent topic of discussion, especially with the reliance on screen-based theme park attractions. As I've grown up, I've found myself becoming more prone to motion sickness, and beyond knowing sort of the basics of what causes it, I didn't really know the science behind it, so I wanted to find out two things. One, what actually causes motion sickness? And two, is there a way to combat it? I think we all loosely know what kind of attractions cause motion sickness the most. It'll be simulator attractions, both 3D and not, roller coasters, rides in the dark, spinning attractions, and anything that has really quick drops or turns. But even common transportation like cars and boats and trains can cause this, and so can video games, both VR and not. So how exactly does it happen? To start, motion sickness is what happens when your eyes see one thing, your ears feel another, and your muscles feel something else. So it's kind of like a Venn diagram, but where none of the circles touch. Anytime there's confusion and confusing signals being sent to your brain can't really process it correctly, and so it winds up making you feel dizzy and sick. So let's break it down a little bit more. I do want to say that this is a very basic overview of what happens anatomically and biologically when you get motion sick, so just stick with me here, please. So we're gonna start with your ears. This is fairly common knowledge, I think, but your ears are part of the system that help you maintain balance, and they're part of an overall system called the vestibular system. This system has canals and sacs that send information about what's going on around you to the brain. These canals hold a fluid that helps your brain figure out what direction you're oriented, so whether you're lying down, standing up, moving, all of that. Now let's move on to your eyes. When you're walking around, when you're in a car, when you're doing any sort of movement, your eyes help register that you are moving, so it sees things coming in and out of your line of sight. That sends a message to your brain that you are moving. The body and the muscles also play a part in this as well. The nerve endings in your joints and muscles help tell your body that you are moving. So your brain's job is to take in all of this information and make it make sense, which it's usually very good at. But sometimes things just don't cross how they're supposed to, and that's what leads to motion sickness. There are some rides that are just notorious for causing motion sickness. There's Forbidden Journey, there's Fast and Furious Supercharged, there's Toy Story Mania, there's both Guardians rides on both coasts, there's Spider-Man, and of course, there's Mission Space. So in terms of combating motion sickness, there's sort of two sections of that as well. It's how to combat after you're feeling motion sick and how to prep before you go on the ride. In terms of how to combat after, definitely drink water, and you can even drink ginger ale. That will help settle your stomach. Definitely take a break after you start to feel motion sick. There's no need to rush on to the next ride. That's just not necessary. Try to eat bland foods for the rest of the day if possible, and fresh air can also be incredibly helpful. As Phoebe Bridgers said in Motion Sickness, "I have emotional motion sickness, somebody roll the windows down." That's so dumb. In terms of how to prep, there's definitely tons of medications that can be taken before. Choosing your seat can also be incredibly helpful. For roller coasters, sitting in the middle is more of a stable place. In the front and the back, you get a lot of whip and you get a lot of speed. The middle can be helpful if you want to experience the attractions, but you know you'll feel a little motion sick after. Keeping your eyes fixed on one non-moving point can also be helpful. Usually what can be the most helpful is just keeping your eyes on the car in front of you. You also want to make sure you keep a straight posture while I say that with the worst posture in the world. You also want to make sure you keep a straight posture while on the ride, because that keeps everything aligned. Don't go on any rides that you deem unsafe when you're sick. Your sinuses, like we have talked about before, have a very heavy involvement in your sense of balance. Going on any sort of ride that could cause you motion sick while you're already feeling normal sick just is not a good mixture. Make sure you stay hydrated. This is important even besides motion sickness, just if you're at the park and it's a hot day, it's important to stay hydrated. Hot temperatures and dehydration will only really make your motion sickness feel worse, so you can combat that as well. I've had to do this personally, but saving questionable rides for later on in the day. If I know I really want to go on the attraction, but it's just going to demolish the rest of my day, I make sure to leave it until later on in the day. And you also want to have a plan for once you get off the ride, if you are feeling sick, to just sort of sit down, relax. Also maybe communicate that with the rest of your group. And lastly, a very easy way to avoid this is to avoid alcohol. I'm looking at you, Epcot. The main thing is that everyone is different. So a ride that might be really easy for you to go on might not be the same for someone else, and vice versa. A lot of this is just finding out what works best for you and also knowing your limits and not pushing them. And honestly, just avoid the attractions that make you sick. I love the Forbidden Journey at Universal Studios, but I know sometimes it makes me feel sick after, so sometimes what I'll do is I'll just go through the queue with whoever I'm with, and then at the last moment, right before we get on, I'll just go off, meet them in the gift shop, all is fine. I hate doing it because I love the ride, but if it saves the rest of my day, it's fine by me. Ultimately, you're at the park to have fun, so there's no need to ruin your day just to get a coaster credit or to prove something. If you start to feel sick, that can honestly ruin the entire day. So that's all that I really have on this subject. I hope it was slightly educational. I also want to introduce a new series that I'm going to start. I have so many books about theme parks, and there are so many books out there about theme parks and themed entertainment and the art of themed entertainment, and I really want to start reviewing them. I'm gonna see if I can lift this with one hand. Here's just the start of some of the books that I want to talk about. Some of them I've read, some of them I haven't read, some of them I've had since I was like 7 years old. Oh, I'm gonna put this down. I'm going to be starting the series with these two, so hopefully those should be coming soon. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to use code RoxyLand15 on any of your Magic Candle Company purchases, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye!